Okay, thank you. So, hi everyone, how you doing? So,
Hey,
um,
Augusto. Yeah, so
hey,
first of all, I thank you for coming to our community call. We are waiting for the community member to join, and we're gonna start soon. So about the agenda for the community call today, so like me as a developer relation of OpenGuild, we are gonna give the introductions of the community call with like some prior topics first, and then like you're gonna give your presentation and also the demo of Tanssi. Yeah.
cool, thank you.
Okay, so
Okay, so we start. Okay, I'm gonna start the community call right now. Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to have you join us today for this exciting community call hosted by OpenGuild and Polkadot Insider. So, whether you are a long-time contributor or a newcomer eager to dive into Polkadot ecosystem, we are excited to connect, share, and collaborate with you. Today, of course, we will have Tin Chong. He is the developer relation engineer at OpenGuild, join us as the first part speaker. And also, we are happy to have Augusto Collato with us as our guest speaker. Augusto is a value member, developer relations engineer at Tanssi. Hey Tin, hey Augusto, how you guys doing?
Hey, GM, fine, great, thanks. How about you?
Yeah,
How you doing?
yeah, I'm great. How about Tin? Can I hear you as well?
Yeah, it can be better. Really excited to discuss more about latency, Augusto in this like community call.
Great. Today our agenda is going to be excited, and a little bit about Augusto. He is going to bring a deep expertise from his MSc in complex system and his experience at the PBA to share his insight into Appchain infrastructure. Just a warm up question. So I know that Tin also participate in the PBA. Did you guys participate at the same time?
I
Oh,
guess
I don't think so.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't think
it's a
I
so.
different
participated
period.
in the Yeah, I participated in the second wave that took place in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
And
I
Tin
think
was in Singapore, right?
yeah, Augusto is more like an early contributor to the ecosystem. Meanwhile, I'm really like joined the ecosystem recently. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. So, with that being said, our topic today is going to be unlocking the power of AppChain infrastructure with the Tanssi Network. So, our agenda is going to be Tin's gonna go first. He's gonna walk us through the overall concept of substrates and application-specific blockchain. Also, he's gonna walk us to concept of AppChains before Augusto's part. So Augusto is going to introduce us to Tanssi and break down Tanssi architecture, how to deploy a new container chain on Tanssi Network, and also talk about the benefit of building app chains on Tanssi. At the last part, he's going to give us a demo. So if you guys ready, Tin will go first. Are you ready?
Yeah, good.
Okay, I'll leave it to you.
All right. Hope that everyone like can see my screen. Like let me know like if you got any like technical issues because last time when we hosted a community call, some people also like cannot see the screen. Anyway, like we should start the community call now. So today we're gonna like dive deeper into the topic Appchain infrastructure, unlock the power of Appchain infrastructure with one of like the most powerful Appchain infrastructure in the ecosystem, like Tanssi Network. And yeah, let's begin. Okay, so let's introduce a bit about me. So I think like you guys already like familiar with me. So like I'm Tin and I'm like the OpenGuild developer relation lead. Meanwhile, also like a Polkadot blockchain academy wave 5 graduate and a Polkadot SDK contributor. On the other hand, I'm currently like, working as the Substrate Rust engineer at this moment. All right, so let's talk about like OpenGuild. So OpenGuild is a Web3 hub for like Polkadot enthusiasts in Southeast Asia region. We mainly focus on like C country, like Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia. And then we try to together as many as possible, like builders who coming from this country, gonna contribute and also like onboard on the Polkadot ecosystem. And we do like events and also like research development. We host a lot of meetup that you guys can see here. Like we have a lot of meetups for people. Um, let's take an example like a durian party in the Malaysia and also like some offline workshop in Vietnam. On the other hand, related to the R&D, we also like have a team called Open Guild Labs that research and also like learn about Rust substrate, to contribute back to the community by producing tutorials and also like workshop materials to help people to learn about that. Here's like some picture that I showcase here that you can have the better insight on like the activities that we have done. Like we have like in Substrate in Thailand that we participate, and also like a few other offline events it hosted in Philippines, Malaysia, and also like Vietnam. Let's talk about open contribution bounty. This one is already run for like 1 month, but it's still like running, and everyone like can enjoy it. As like HTTPS OpenGuild.wtf bounty, and then you can see like 5 bounties check. The first check gonna be like substrate cost. Like if you build a substrate, you want to learn about substrate, you build a substrate blockchain, and then like you want to back to the community and then like earn a bounty for that. Let's do it as a course, right? A documentation for a substrate course, and then submit it to us. You can like claim the bounty. The check two gonna be like ecosystem open source documentation. So like you have like Polkadot SDK documentation. Maybe like Tanssi, if like Tanssi like have any plan for like the open source documentation, and Tanssi can also like become like a candidate that like you guys can find on the repository of Tanssi. If they have any issue related to documentation, contribute, submit to us, and you can claim the bounty. The check three gonna be like technical blog. I think like everyone like love writing something. You write a very thoroughly written technical blog, and they submit to us. Also like claim the bounty. And check four gonna be the workshop technical activities. You build tutorials, for example, like connect to like using client library to to connect with the wallet. Also like submit a transaction to a blockchain something, and then like you also like submit the bounty to us, claim this bounty again. And the check file is the most interesting one because like today we also like have one check. Um, we already like created one check from Tanssi for Tanssi, uh, like under the check file of open contribution policy, and I'm gonna announce that later at the end of the presentation. So please follow the community call. Okay, so about our agenda today, we're gonna like, introduce about the application-specific blockchain with Substrate, challenges of running a traditional blockchain infrastructure, concept of Appchains, introduction to Tanssi, and then I break down Tanssi architecture and demo. And I'm gonna like give a presentation first on like the introduction to application-specific blockchain, and also like some basic concept of Appchain. Then we're gonna have our guest speaker, special guest speaker, to like host the rest of the presentation. So technology to build blockchain. Everyone here, everyone in the community, I think you guys already like familiar with Substrate, right? And I think that we also like have a Polkadot hackcam hosting right, running right now. That you guys can also like, learn about Substrate. So Substrate is a great tool and it help you to run any rollups um, easily. So let's just imagine like our Substrate client is like a game console, and then you have like a row of caches, which is like a WebAssembly runtimes, which is plug to the Substrate client, and then like, it gotta be, and then it can share the it can use the share features of our game console, and also like become like it's gonna be assigned with a validator node, use the full features of Polkadot protocol. We talk about like Polkadot SDK components, and in the Polkadot SDK component, we have like Substrate, Frame, Cumulus, so like maybe like SCMs. But yeah, like Substrate is the base blockchain framework used to power the Polkadot SDK. It is a full toolkit to create like sovereign blockchains, including but not limited to those who connect to Polkadot as a parachain. And Frame is the framework used to create a Substrate-based application-specific application logic, aka like runtimes, that like different from other blockchains that like they define the like, set up native logic in the protocol, and like you lack of customizability to change that, instead of like you only like have one choice, which is like forking the chain and then change that. But like in Polkadot protocol, like everyone like can build their own blockchain and define a set of logic for them using like Frame and also the Substrate. Cumulus help you to make your like single blockchain become like I said, a solo change become a pair change. And ACM is short for like cross consensus message. It's the primary format that is used for communication between pair chains, but is it intended to be extensible to other cases as well. So application specific blockchain. Let's play Lego. We already talked about Substrate, we already talked about Frame and how we can like define set logic running a blockchain easily using Substrate and Frame. So let's say like this is what you want to build your custom blockchain. This is what you have like a Substrate and framework Frame. So how you build your custom blockchain? So if let's say if you want to build the EVM compatible blockchain, you have Substrate, then like you just add your module, which is a palette EVM, palette Ethereum, palette dynamic fee. Then like, you can define a set of logic for your blockchain runtime. And like you have like EVM compatible blockchain. Roof stack blockchain, you have palette stacking, palette section, palette offenses, and also like palette authorship. You combine these together, add to your Substrate runtime, and you have a proof stack blockchain. They like define a set of logic for a Substrate runtime is quite easy. Because like you have a very rich ecosystem of um like Substrate libraries, Substrate module libraries, and then like you just add to your Substrate blockchain, then you can like have all set of those logic, those functionality for your blockchain. So some benefit of a Polkadot rollups. Let me recap a bit. So you like instead of having to build a whole validator network with complex consensus mechanism for security, rollup chains only need a few nodes for block collations, and the rest will be handled by the relay chain. Cross-chain messaging. Parachain can communicate with others parachain in the same Polkadot network to messaging protocol called XCMP. Substrate compatibility with like rich ecosystem of libraries or parachain in the Polkadot are substrate based, hence like you can reuse code from other open source parachain easily. But like running a parachain require more effort than that. Like you also like have challenges in running and deploying a parachain. So like we already like solve a problem with the runtime, and we know that like building a runtime is easy, but on the other hand, like to maintain a parachain network, it requires more work than that. So infrastructure cost, and there's a Polkadot forum cost. There's a Polkadot forum post, which is quite interesting related to like developer cost to running a blockchain infrastructure on Polkadot. Then like you do in easy math. This one is already deprecated. And this is posted before the HO core time, which is like Polkadot 2.0. And this one is still like relying on the Polkadot Ocean mechanisms. So yeah, just for reference. And the easy math gonna be like $250K to get a decent infrastructure setup with a RPC node, Explorer, governance front end, indexers, fraudulent interest, $400K dollar, and also like R&D related, depend on the location, but you can consider a team of 10 developers. It's typical. It's if just count the purchase overhead, two Substrate developers, one front end, one DevOps, or dedicated purchase maintenance. If it should like get 150K a year, then that's gonna be like 600K a year, a huge number. And not counting wallet and hardware wallet integration fee, which is basically zero on EVM change. If run on both Polkadot and Kusama, some cost would double. So yeah, you can see like the cost for the infrastructure of running a parachain is crazy. And that's the reason why we come to this community call. On the other hand, you guys also like need to set up a collator infrastructure, which requires some setup technical skill. Like not like once one newcomer to the Polkadot ecosystem can jump in and then like run your own collator infrastructure and maintain it over time. So like here like I list a few steps. Like but first let me explain a bit about like what is a collator. So Polkadot protocol already simplified it for you guys as a parachain builder. So like you don't have to care about the validator and also like block finalization, but you only have to care about like block productions and collation. So like you have a collators who responsible for like collate the block to the validator for block finalization to the global state of the relay change. And here's like a collator that connect to the parachain. So some step to for infrastructure setup. If some guys are interested in like running this, I also have a material. So just let me know and I will send this to you. Build some step. First step gonna be like build the Polkadot and parachain binaries, generate chain spec, runtime WebAssembly, blob, and generate state, repair a local relay change, connect a local parachain, and launch a collator. On the other hand, when you already have a collator infrastructure set up, you also have to think about like parachain registrations, which is also like another domain of knowledge that you have to learn about. Right now, like, we have like HO core time. So like you guys have to learn about like the core time marketplace, the third party core time marketplace. You want to deploy a parachain on the Polkadot protocol. So like there's a documentation right here you can read, but there's also a lot of things. And node upgrade and maintenance. When you already like have a node hosted, you also like need to spend some time and also like gather the knowledge over time. Follow the Polkadot SDK repository to learn like if there are any like new release, new update, and it's gonna impact your blockchain. It's gonna impact your like blockchain node, your blockchain runtime, and you have to upgrade your node, your runtime over time, which is called like maintenance, and that's also like require continuous learning. So building an application specific blockchain Appchain on with Tanssi. So like we already learned in the past few slides that like running a parachain is not an easy thing, but defining a logic for the runtime is an easy thing, right? It's like building a Lego. So what is Tanssi Network? So the Tanssi is a permissionless Appchain infrastructure protocol designed for swift and effortless deployment of application-specific blockchain. Right here, I'm gonna just give a basic give a basic definitions about Tanssi. but we're gonna have like Augusto, to dive deeper into like this concept if you guys interested. So an overview of the Tanssi architecture, we have a container change, which is act like a parachain. But here, like it's used the infrastructure of Tanssi for block productions, which I already laid raw a diagram right here that you see like a container change be a part of the parachain, and it's gonna have like some set of features, and yeah, maybe like here like Augusto, are you there? Maybe like gonna like you a few questions because like you're an expert in Tanssi.
Yeah, here I am. So yeah, basically this is the architecture, and what we see there, I think it's one interesting point to make is that all the appchains that are deployed through Tanssi are also parachains. So there's no hierarchy between Tanssi and the appchain. So they are like sibling chains. They operate in the same level, and the Tanssi protocol is behind the scenes assigning collators to produce blocks on behalf of the appchains that are deployed to Tanssi. So that's what's happening there.
And as I understand, that like container change gonna have like few different it's gonna like have few different features similar to a parachain. For example, like collations, chain management, key iterations, data retrieval, and ECM iteration as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, they are fully fledged parachains, so they are fully autonomous and yeah, basically the team behind an appchain can make decisions on which features to include. The most popular feature, of course, is having EVM compatibility, but besides that, they can, like, being a full-fledged parachain, open XCM channels to any other appchain in the ecosystem, be it Tanssi deployed or not, and start interoperating, benefiting from the XCM protocol that we have already in place in the ecosystem.
I see, I see. And about like the mechanisms for block authoring and consensus, based on my research and understanding, so like an app change or a container change gonna like use a block productions of Tanssi from a decentralized block producers infrastructure that we're gonna talk in this next slide, and it's gonna use a block finalization of a relation. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly like that. So Tanssi has a shared set of block producers. So it's a decentralized set. Anyone can participate in the protocol. So if you have hardware and you want to like put it on to work for a Tanssi app chain, you can just come here and add your collator to the set. And so the Tanssi protocol will, in every session, so every 300 blocks, will assign a subset of those collators to produce blocks on behalf of one of the app chains. So those collators comes to your app chain and produce blocks on your behalf. And once the block is with the transactions included, and then it is sent to the relay chain for finalization.
I see, I see.
And one extra point, excuse me, one extra point I want to make here is that being a decentralized set means that anyone can participate in the protocol, but they also rotate. So you get a subset of collators to produce blocks for your app chain, and then those collators will rotate and new ones will be assigned. So there's an improvement in security and an avoidance of the collusion risk.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I think like we also have like a picture right here to to explain about like the process of the block producer infrastructure. So based on my understanding, we're gonna have like a three different module with a stacking module, invulnerable module, and assignations process. And can you explain more about this?
Yeah, sure. So the staking module is so the collators will be chosen from the current set. Let's say we have 10 app chains and we will need to assign 3 collators for each appchain. So we need 30 collators, okay? And let's say we have 50 collators, 60 collators, 100 collators. So, and we only need 30. So we're gonna choose between those 100 based on how much tokens they have at stake. So we are choosing the 30 most staked collators. And that's why the staking model is important here. But then we have this invulnerable module that we are gonna deprecate once we go mainnet, because what that module does is there's a fixed arbitrary set of collators that will always be assigned to some appchain. So those are collators that will be participating in block production every time. And it's just a module that will be like available once we're on testnet. On mainnet, it will not be available. Okay, so it will be fully decentralized. We will not be deciding who will produce blocks or not. And the last one is the assignation process. Yeah, basically, it's what I explained before. So if we need 30 collators, we take from the list, we order the collators from the list. We take the 30 collators that have more tokens at stake, and then we shuffle that set and we assign randomly to produce blocks to every appchain that is active in the protocol. So they will go to the subchains and they will start executing transactions and putting them in the blocks on their behalf. And then the next session, there's a high chance that they will rotate. So they will be producing blocks for other appchain.
Interesting. And I wonder, like, in this decentralized block production, block producer infrastructure, what is the process if like one person, so let's say like if one of the OpenGuild community member, they want to like, can they participate to the Tanssi protocol as a collator, or like only the Tanssi have like a permission to manage that?
Yeah, well, it's a permissionless protocol, and we just ended the LFD campaign. Probably some of you have participated, but basically there was a track for not produce for block producers. So if you have hardware and you want to participate in the protocol, you can just go to the Tanssi app website and register your collator. There's a whole set of articles written in the documentation site on how to do it, but basically it's a permissionless protocol. So if you have the hardware and you have tokens to put at stake, you can participate in the protocol without any of us from the Tanssi team giving you permission, just permissionless.
Gotcha. Okay. Are we gonna have like, another questions related to the data reserver? From my personal research experience, I don't have like much idea about like what is the data reserver. If like you can help me to answer this, that would be best.
Yeah, sure. So block production is one thing, and data preservation is another thing. So you need both things, of course. You need infrastructure, you need nodes, you need block producers that can understand the runtime that your appchain has to execute the transactions that are coming to your chain and put them in the blocks. And then once the block is produced, send the block to the relay chain to validate that. That's one thing. But the other side is you need to preserve the data. You need to preserve the state of your chain. And of course, to produce a block, you don't need to have the whole state of the network, because the whole state of one network could be like huge. So those are two different nodes. Block production nodes have just the minimal amount of necessary data to produce blocks, and the data preservers hold the entire history of your blockchain. So those are two different services, and those node producers, basically what they have is a huge storage amount, so they can have the complete history of your blockchain from the block 0 to the last one.
And I'm curious, like for one container change, because like you said, it's as a similar to like a parachain, and like as I understand, like any like parachain is gonna be like assigned to one like execution core, and then they have to pay for like the assigned slot of the execution score as execution core. So like because the container change, also have to pay the fee for that.
Yeah, exactly. So parachains, I mean, appchains that are deployed through Tanssi at this moment in Polkadot, they need to be parachains, which is the mechanism that is working at the moment. So they need to win a slot and then become a parachain. But once core time is released, we will have this new feature that allows appchains to just buy core time. So they will need to have that because one thing is producing blocks and one other thing is having those blocks validated by the relay chain. That is exactly what you are paying when you buy core time. So yeah, every Tanssi appchain will need to have a core assigned. So be it core time on demand or being a fixed assignation.
Ah, I see. So is it fair to say that like Tanssi model only works in the case of Agile core time and it doesn't work for the parachain oceans?
No, I mean, it can work for both models. So for parachains and for agile core time, we prefer agile core time. We've been expecting this for so long because this enables small protocols to launch their app chain without having to go through the tough process of winning a slot auction. So yeah, but basically the protocol is designed to work with both kinds of app chains, be it parachains as we know it now, or core time assigned app chains.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think like that's all for yeah, not all. Yeah, I think like that's all for the architecture part. And maybe I'm gonna give a spotlight to you so that like you can share more about Tanssi that like any like community member here can learn more about that, and also like maybe like you can give us a demo of the Tanssi Appchain deployment. That would be best.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you should be like able to see my screen. And well, thank you very
Okay.
much for the introduction. You have said many concepts that are like required to understand this is an infrastructure protocol, and it's like hard to grasp the complexities that are in place here. So, well, basically, I'm going to go very quickly through some other concepts. We know what is an appchain now, and we know that deploying an appchain has many complexities. But what's the other option to deploying an appchain? Well, basically, you could also go to a shared execution environment, such as Moonbeam, say, or Ethereum, of course. But the thing is, deploying your own appchain gives you full control over everything. Like you can make decisions in every layer of your appchain, and that's great, I think, because you don't have to share resources with anyone else. As if you were in Ethereum, you have to compete for the block space. Whereas in a Tanssi, you can deploy your own appchain and benefit from the 100% of block space. So you don't have to compete with anyone else. You have cost control because you are the one who decide how much to charge for the fees, and the fees will not go up if a new meme coin appears and rises the load of the chain. So basically, that gives you full freedom, and that allows you to make decisions in every layer, including the runtime. So you can like customize the WASM runtime, add the logic that you need, add the palettes that you need, and then of course upgrade the runtime of your appchain. Those are things that are just beyond your control in any other execution environment. So many people want to deploy their own appchain, but the thing is, there are many challenges. We've been speaking before about block production, but that's only the beginning. Because if you decide to go this way, you will find many complexities that your team or you as developers will have to take responsibility on. So block production is just one of them. You need a set of collators that will produce blocks on your behalf. And that's okay. But once you get block production, okay, your chain is live, you get liveness, you will realize that it's just the very first step. You will have to deal with many other components, that are needed and required to make your app chain useful. So you will need also integration to wallets. You will need indexers, block explorers. You will need RPC endpoints. You will need bridges. So there are many things that you need to configure and put in place to make your app chain worthwhile, to make your app chain fully functional. And so being in Polkadot means that the security is brilliantly solved because we have a relay chain that provides finalization for us. So Polkadot is a highly decentralized network, as we all know, and it's secured by several $1 billion in stake. So security is brilliantly solved here. But if you were deploying your app chain in any other ecosystem, this would be a huge issue to solve. Like, let's say you are deploying your app chain in Cosmos. Well, you have to worry about security. And then you will need also cross-chain capabilities, which is also brilliantly solved in Polkadot by XCM. And all those things ultimately conspires against the time to market. Because if you want to build something, you have an idea, you have a DeFi protocol, a game on your mind, and you want to build that, well, you will just have to wait because you will have to deal with these other things. And that's a huge challenge, of course. So Tanssi provides this, basically, the line is Tanssi allows you to deploy your app chain as if it was as easy as deploying a smart contract. So that's a bold statement because deploying an app chain, as we see, is very complex, but we made it easy. We try to make it easy. So what you get once you deploy your app chain is block production. You have that retrievability also, so you can access the data on your chain. You will get security and many integrations to those other tools that are necessary for your app chain to work properly. You will have integrations with indexers, block explorer. We'll see in a few minutes. So that's why the protocol is being built. So we are building this protocol to make the app chain deployment easy. So to make it like an easy way, an easy decision to make. So I'm gonna go just very quickly over here. I have here like just use cases from teams that are building and deploying their chain through Tanssi. So I'm gonna mention just one or two of them. We have the case of Kona Finance, which wants to launch their own app chain because they want to have their own token. They need to have the block space available to them to provide a nice UX to their users. And they also want to benefit from this native capability in Polkadot, which is XCM, that allows any app chain to go through XCM and take liquidity and bring liquidity from other chains using Moonbeam Bluetooth liquidity. So that's amazing. I mean, once your chain goes live, you will get like bridging capabilities, which is awesome. You can allow your users to bring liquidity from Ethereum and take liquidity back when they need it. And this all runs in a very secure ecosystem, such as Polkadot. So I'm gonna go even quicker because we are running out of time. But the bottom line here is that the protocol allows you to focus and put your energy and resources and time in what really matters, which is building the best product ever, and just delegating all the complexities to other protocol, Tanssi in this case. So now I'm going to show you how to deploy an app chain. Okay, I told you before that it should be as easy as deploying a smart contract. Okay, let's see if that's really what it's like. So you need to go to apps.tanssi.network. Okay, there's the terms and conditions. I assume you are all seeing my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, cool. So now you have here two choices. You have a snap app chain and dedicated app chain. So if you are just trying to test things out, you want to see how it works and do some testing, you can just go to snap app chain and you will get an app chain live in a few minutes. But this app chain will be live only for 48 hours. After 48 hours, you will get the commission automatically. But if you're like building a project that needs a long-term lived app chain, then you can just go through the process of requesting a dedicated app chain. And that's what we will do now. So this is the most important screen. So you need to fill out this form and that's it. So there are like several choices here. You have the EVM template, which is the most popular by far. So the EVM template allows you to launch an app chain that is fully Ethereum compatible. So you can interact with your app chain using MetaMask, Remix, Hardhat, or any other tool that you are like familiarized with from the Ethereum world. If you don't need EVM compatibility, you can go through the Substrate template, which will provide you very basic functionalities. And if you are building your own runtime, if you are a core developer and you have a Substrate project with your palettes and your custom logic, you can come here and just deploy an app chain by uploading the specifications of your chain. So before doing so, you need to make sure that your runtime is compatible with the Tanssi protocol. So you will need to add some Tanssi palettes, Tanssi specific palettes, and provide some configuration. But once you've done that, you can launch your custom blockchain through Tanssi. So for this demo, we'll go just with the EVM1. I'm going to put a name. This required a name from the project, OpenGuild demo. We need to provide a chain ID. The chain ID is the EVM chain ID, which is a number that identifies your EVM chain. You can just pick whatever number here. It's a testnet, so it's not important. But once you go mainnet, you need to have this chain ID registered on chainlist.org, which is an Ethereum central point for identifications. Then the gas token. So you need to provide a token symbol. Let's say, let's call it Augusto. So this is the token symbol that your app chain will work with. And then you need to provide a sudo account. I'm going to go to MetaMask and just copy my address and provide an initial balance for this account. I'm just going to use 1 million. So this account will hold in this blockchain 1 million Augusto tokens.
Accurate enough.
Sorry? Okay.
No problem.
Okay. So that's it. That's the most important thing that you need to keep in mind. Of course, the sudo address is a super user account that holds special privileges. So it's very important that you have it stored safely. But because this account can, among other things, it can mint more tokens. It can upgrade the runtime. So basically, it holds the power to change things on your chain. Okay, so we continue. I need to connect a wallet. I need to provide a Substrate type wallet, which I already have. And then it checks if I have enough balance. I need balance of two tokens, one for the relay chain, as we said before. So an Appchain needs to buy core time. So you need to have a core assigned to get your block finalized. So you will need on mainnet those tokens to buy this, and you will need also pay the block production services and the data preserve services using Tanssi tokens. But I have enough of both tokens, so I'm just gonna go next. And from this point on, it's all just clicks. So we need here to reserve an Appchain ID. So I need to sign the transaction, and what this is doing is getting a parachain ID. So it's registering a new Appchain in the relay chain. This is a testnet that I'm showing you. So in the testnet, we are running our own relay chain. So this is just done internally. It's not Polkadot, okay? So yeah, we got the 3128. Then I need to generate the Genesis file, the chain specification files. I mean, there's nothing to do on my side. It's just clicking a button. The application takes care for it. And okay, we can continue. And now just 2 more clicks, okay? I need to register my Appchain in the relay chain using the ID that I just gotten. And finally, register the Appchain in the Tanssi protocol. So, normal close. I'm gonna try again. It's an RPC issue. Sorry about that. So, once I click on the register Appchain in Tanssi, the Tanssi protocol will start the steps to spin up your chain, and it will start assigning block producers, and your chain will go live. And that's it. After this, the transaction went through. After this last click, the protocol will configure everything and put things in place to get your Appchain live. And now I'm going to show you how it looks like. So, okay, so far, as I told you, the most important and the most difficult step in this process is filling out the first formula, the first form. So that's the most difficult part. The process is meant to be easy. Like we are building the easiest process as we can. And I told you before, it should be as easy as deploying a smart contract. I think it's even easier because you don't need any technical knowledge to do this. So now, if we finish this, transaction went through now, and we have our chain here, OpenGuild demo, which is the chain we already registered. It's not found because now the process starts to spin up the chain, and it will take some time. In Appchain, it takes around 10 minutes to get your chain live, okay? But we are not, we will not be waiting for this chain to go live. I just show you other chains that I already have registered and live on the testnet. So I have these 2 chains. Here I have the test, one test EVM and one test Substrate. And this is what you get. As you can see here, the chain is live. You can see here which one the last block that this chain produced. You get many like information here. But what I wanted to show you here is that you can, with one click, add the network to MetaMask. You can go to manage, and if you have access to the sudo account, you can mint tokens. You can execute transfer, and you can like change the gas dynamics, which is compliant with the EIP 1559 in Ethereum. So you can change here how much are you going to charge fees to your user. But there's also, you can here go and pay for block production using the Tanssi tokens. But you have here also XCM management. You can, if let's say I want to interact with the Appchain with whose ID is 3110, I can just select that Appchain and request to open a channel. And this application will do it for me. I mean, I need to send the transaction, but I can manage the XCM channels through the application, through this application. If I had a channel open back and forth to another Appchain, then I can go and register their asset here. It's a foreign asset, of course, because it's an asset that is native to another chain. But once I get the XCM channel open, I can just go and register their asset and start bringing liquidity from that chain and taking liquidity back. And I think that's awesome. And there are many other tools, like you can see here, Explorer, Index of Oracle. We are still working, of course, but we will add bridges also. And if you come here, you can access an EVM Explorer. So yeah, there's an EVM Explorer. I can just paste an address and check balance. I mean, it's an EVM Explorer, so you can do whatever you want. And you can get a quick access to Polkadot.js, which is not exactly an Explorer, but more than that. You can interact here in a lower level with your Appchain. You can execute transactions, upgrade the runtime, whatever you want to do, you can do it here. And as we can see, the chain is producing blocks every 6 seconds. And finally, you can also request a Block Scout instance if you need this powerful Block Explorer. You can just request a trial, and it will spin up like quickly for you, and you will get access to it. But this is the management part. You as developer, the important thing is using an EVM template, such as this one or the one we used for the registration of this OpenGuild demo. If you have a test EVM, you can interact with it using the usual tooling that you are familiar with. You can use, as I said before, you can use, I don't know, Remix. So I can go to Remix. Yeah, I have here a very basic ERC20 contract, ERC20 token. So it's like that. I can just compile this contract. I can come here and deploy the contract if I use my MetaMask injector provider, which is connected to one of my test chains. And so I can, well, I cannot show you because it's not compiling. Sorry about that. Let me reload. Yeah, but now it's okay. So I can use the injected provider, and I can just deploy the contract as if I would do in any other EVM chain. So I have to send the transaction, of course, and I have to pay the tokens in my native token, which in this case is Phobos. But the thing here is that you can just interact with your chain from a developer experience point of view using the tools that you are familiar with. You don't have to use any other special tooling to interact or to build on top of Tanssi Appchain. So now this ERC20 token is deployed. I can just copy the address and import it to MetaMask. If I go to tokens, I can import the token, paste the address, and I can say, okay, it's asking me for the token symbol. Yeah, import, and that's it. I have this 1 million ERC20 token. I can execute transfer and start deploying smart contracts. So I can, from this point, now my chain is live, I can start building the product that I am an expert on. I can start building this DeFi protocol. I can start building this social fi protocol, this game, this whatever I am genius. My genius idea, I can just start building on top of it without having to worry for the other complexities of running a chain. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to show you as a developers that we've been building on this time, an extensive set of documentation. So if you go to the doc.tanssi.network, you will find like many guides and how-tos on how to customize your blockchain, how to customize your runtime, how to deploy smart contracts, how to integrate with an oracle such as Accurate or Fala. So I do invite you to go to the Tanssi website and try things, deploy your chain and test things out. So I think that's it. I have shown you how to deploy a new app chain. You have seen that the steps to getting your chain live are like just a few steps and very easy to perform, and how a chain goes live without you having to worry about like configuring block producers and what's the relay chain or whatever. So all those complexities are hidden behind the protocol. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We are on time. You have 1 minute left. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, so I have a question is, so let's say like if like I build an app change with the maybe like the contract functionality. So like on the client side, like if I use like client libraries like Polkadot API or Polkadot.js,
Yeah.
yeah, is it possible to interact with Appchain on Tanssi?
Absolutely, yeah. So your app chain is an app chain built on Substrate, using Substrate, and you can interact with using Polkadot.js. You can interact if it has an EVM layer. You can interact also using the other libraries such as Ethers.js. So any popular libraries that you know, you can use to build your project and interact with your app chain.
Gotcha. We have like one questions from one of our like, Vietnamese member. So his
Yeah,
question
please
is
go
like,
ahead.
using Tanssi like helps you to deploy it, seamlessly, but like after the deployment, so like the app change, like the app change gonna be on Polkadot or gonna be on Tanssi?
No, the app chain is going to be a part of the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's going to be an app chain that is located in the same level as Tanssi. Tanssi will just provide some services to your app chain, but your app chain is going to be like part of the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's going to be like a fully autonomous parachain as we know them.
I see. Yeah, someone is having questions. I have one question from my end. It's like when Tanssi, what is it like the mainnet launch of Tanssi right now?
When we're aiming to launch on mainnet on Q1 next year, so the first month of 25.
Thank you. So one question, will all the app chains deployed on Tanssi go into leverage ECM